Behind me, the ancient city of Hasankeyf, recently flooded by the completion of a new hydroelectric dam. One of the world's oldest UNESCO heritage sites, Hasankeyf held many ancient relics and structures. The Turkish government moved many of these historical sites to higher ground, like that behind me, in anticipation of the flooding, while those that couldn't be moved are now submerged in the reservoir made by the dam. Did it make sense to sacrifice such an important historical location for hydroelectric power? I'm Taha Arvas, and I'll give you my take in brief. This picturesque medieval village in the Tuscany region of Italy was flooded in 1946 to make way for a hydroelectric dam, generating electricity for the local economy. The residents of the village were relocated to a new lakeside town nearby. In 1959, the hydroelectric dam near the Chinese city of Hangzhou was also completed, flooding the ancient cities of both Xicheng and Heqiang. Scuba diving tours allow for tourists to visit the ancient cities, now submerged under the reservoir. In 1972, a similar fate met the ancient Portuguese town of Vilarinho da Furna, submerging over 2,000 years of history for the construction of another hydroelectric dam. Similar stories of dams being built and flooding historical sites exists in the United States as well, with some located in the states of Nevada, New York, and Indiana, among others. Many other examples in Europe and Asia point to a need of policymakers to sacrifice historical sites for renewable, low-cost energy and agriculture for the surrounding regions. The hydroelectric plant near Hasankeyf is one of the world's largest and will provide low-cost renewable energy to nearly 10 million people. Over 65 years after its first proposal, the power plant began to generate electricity last month. The Turkish government argues that the Ilisu Dam, as the project is known, has been roundly accepted by nearly every political party in Turkey for the last 6 decades and was the right decision for the people of the area. Politicians have been united by the economic benefits to the region, which will be in the tens of billions of dollars in the coming years. Use of the reservoir for irrigation will make widespread agriculture in the region finally possible, allowing for the fertile lands of the Tigris Delta to yield crops. While the construction of the dam and the flooding of Hasankeyf was indeed controversial, archaeologists worked closely with government officials in saving many of the iconic monuments, now stored in both traditional and open-air museums and parks. New homes were constructed and gifted to residents as part of the compensation for their relocation. The preservation of historical sites should always be a top priority. But from the various examples we've seen, at times the needs of local communities need to be put first. Providing long-term employment for citizens and investments into economically depressed regions may ultimately trump the need to preserve historical sites in their entirety.